Howdy, folks. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the author Dale Brown. I mentioned him earlier, another one of my videos, but I'm going to talk a little bit about how his vision for a future upgraded B-52 bomber compares to what's actually being done today with the U.S. Air Force's B-52 bomber fleet. So the author Dale Brown, I mentioned him previously. He's an author, fairly prolific. He's got quite a few books. His first book back in the 80s, The Flight of the Old Dog, features a fictional B-52 Megafortress, as he calls it, bomber. And it's let's just say a very, very radical departure from the original B-52 design. So Dale Brown, being former U.S. Air Force, I don't believe he was a pilot. I believe he was a navigator and bombardier on B-52s and F-111s. Envisioned a B-52 that had been made somewhat stealthy. Now, believe it or not, he does actually put a little bit of thought into this. Basically, the tail was replaced with a V-tail. The nose has a very pointy thing, for lack of a better term, almost kind of like a Concorde or some sort of supersonic transport. RAM coatings and stuff like that, and these had a very flexible role, both with electronic warfare, bombing, cruise missiles, and also air-to-air stuff as well. In later books, he envisions the engines having been replaced with more modern turbofans. I'm not sure how that would be stealthy, but it's a book. And then also being equipped with like directed energy weapons and such, which is starting to really get out there. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and I enjoy it at least. What's actually happening with the U.S. Air Force is a little bit more benign, a little more toned down. They are going to be upgrading the B-52H models. I believe it's like about 76 airframes. They're going to be re-engineering them from the TF-33s to a set of Rolls-Royce F-130s, which are essentially a engine from like a commercial business jet or something like that. So they're affordable. There's an existing supply chain. It's not 1950s technology, and they can use the existing nacelles. So that eliminates the big costs associated with redesigning, replumbing the wings, creating new nacelles, and they can use a lot of the existing parts and airframe. So there's no directed energy weapons being placed on the B-52, and I don't think the U.S. Air Force has a planned air-to-air role for those bombers either. So anyhow, now you know a little bit more about Dale Brown and about what the U.S. Air Force is actually doing with the new B-52 upgrades to the B-52J. Have a good one.